appearance of those alien handlers throughout this section is one of the main recurring things that I used to have nightmares about when I was a kid. There's just something about these guys that freak me out, man. Even the movie alien creatures. Second, like any good alien game set kind of works. You also get good many of the fourth. Then after finishing off the third and final alien creature, the end of the mission barely escaped the planet and exploded. And I've got to say that I do feel like complaining about a lot of these antiquated games elements is a little bit unfair. Every day works all the time. People like complaining about the fact that planes being shot by alien technology is not really from another era, but I think it's one that's still holds up quite yeah. And I think that even by today's standards, kind of funny to think how I've never been without changing it. Going back and playing it now, I'm able to finish it in a couple of series. It's definitely one of those games that's greatly benefit from some kind of remaster experience, allowing you to split it out and considering at the moment the best way to play this thing, I think is through the PlayStation. As far as that, has been that, you know, one of the 12 people in the world who's still learned from it. The basic gameplay loop is pretty fun, running around and shooting paint buggers and containers and shotguns and rifles, and I think that basic improvement is smooth movement and control is absolutely classic. But I've got a bit of a secret to tell you, right? The only reason I really wanted to talk about it was really because I had an excuse to talk about our direction, and it's taken me years to work up the courage to make little things of stuff finish time and time again. At this point, we're really expressing ourselves up here. Now, I could probably spend an entire video talking about our resurrection. I think that makes it challenge. But we're not going to hit that, right? This is more about the video game data. So let's play Arsenal games. PlayStation. Now, Arsenal games had some pretty solid DNA. I mean, they created awesome Star Wars. And not to mention the Super NX chip that they right in the first place. Well, with the Frog series of the PlayStation and Sega Saturn. Anything Resurrection, however, was something else entirely. Despite there being a lot of issues with this thing, the job is and the fight was in as far as games basically go. This is not so cool. You can't really fault it when you make it. Big song. Very proud. Assuming you're not totally quite well into recap. Set a couple of centuries after Aliens 3, Weyland Yutani is now leading the United Systems military now taking its place as that shady small conglomerate, performing legal experiments out in space, apparently still no one can hit the screen. The game mostly follows the film in terms of era screen, still playing as a clone briefly on the US Eureka. Have to find the means to escape after all the Zetas has gotten up no good and started making trouble with the neighbors. Yeah, what a shock. Trying to contain and use the Zeta bioweapon goes wrong again. For most of the missions, you're going to be playing as Ripley, but you'll also get to play through as Winona Ryder's character, along with Miss Stefano, the Marine who's almost made it to be one. Chrissy, who's Mr. Wielding badass who would rather let himself drown to death than simply grab onto a nearby race. Along the way too, you see some recent themes. Escaping from the cells is one, for instance. There's even a whole chapter where you've got to find the mission on the way to the clones, and another one later on that requires a bit of swimming. And despite how I feel about the film overall, I have to admit that that was a pretty cool scene. The intricate and some brutally challenging film. I also think it's a really neat touch how when you're playing with Ripley, the bar is the same colour as the actual blood, kind of reflecting nationalist views. Weapons include pistols, play the game, shotgun, flamethrower, which is completely useless unless you can use the face weapon, assault rifle, grenade launcher, and later the game, the lethal gun is so cool that it actually invents it. Paul gets access to a laser gun, which is probably the best weapon in the game by far, and then Christy gets access to a rocket launcher, which is another pretty good weapon, aiming to clear out groups of Zetas that are camping in the sea. The enemies are little more than just your basic fundamental Zetos, face hugging, with the remaining hundred personnel still on the ship. So overall, it does look pretty faithful to the film, and it could have definitely served as some kind of visual line if it had been released in time. I mean, it sure is a whole lot better than some of the other film-based video games we've got. I also see a lot of similarities between this and 3. I mean, that is easily one of the best looking games to face play, even if that often does come at the expense of a sneaky frame rate. I'm still a pretty big proponent for emulation. I mean, I think for some titles it just objectively makes them better to play, especially games like GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, and Time Splitters. Then again, there's just something about playing these games on the actual hardware that just seems to last through them. I don't know, man, it's something about that dithering effect on the PlayStation 1. It just makes these old games look beautiful. You boot up Resurrection, and even has this message telling you to play in the dark. And yeah, at this point, you know you're going to see some serious shit, and you'll be really doing yourself a favour by playing it like that. So you're able to appreciate all the choppy goodness of what's meant to be. Also really managing to appreciate and have captured that same aesthetic of the film. More than that though, Resurrection is a first-person thriller horror game first and foremost, and it really is one of the pioneers of the genre. Trying to find supplies in this game was often like trying to find big thoughtful stuff. Medkits are really hard to come by, have to use manually, and you've got a flashlight which burns out within a second. Yeah, I love how technology's gone to the point where space travel is mastered, and you can clone someone by finding a strand of their pubic hair, but a flashlight that lasts more than 15 seconds, well, that's something actually much to ask. You got things like camera sway when moving, which is also pretty addictive to find. And funnily enough too, this game has ladders that don't require a physics degree to operate. You walk up to a ladder, unequipped your weapon automatically as you're attached to it, then press either up or down. In fact, moving down, then your character slides down to the trigger, which is again pretty innovative design. And then compare that to Doom 3 and Half-Life 2, which came out a few years later, where we were still manually attaching ourselves to the ladders to weapons. The game's control setup though is the most terrifying element. The left analog stick moves you forward and back, straight to right and left. Right analog stick turns you up and down. Yeah, that was an influence quote taken from a text model previously seen back in the day, which actually marked the game down because it used what's now become the absolute standard for control first-person shooting. Yeah, imagine that. Games got having a take to in phase one. What it means though, the game is still pretty easy to pick up and play, considering it really doesn't differentiate all that much from first-person shooting. However, don't let that fool you into thinking this is going to be an easy ride, because this is honestly one of the most cool, unfair, and sadistic games I think I've ever played. This game's version of easy mode, or like hard mode, is in this game, and it's made even more insulting by the fact that the devs apparently defended the difficulty to bring significance. Yeah, they claim that the blade testers were able to beat this thing using a pistol, which is about the biggest load of fucking bullshit that I've ever heard. It's about the most idiotic thing I've heard since Riley Reid tried to rap.
Who that is? Riley Reid with my booty fat.
If you're wondering why some of the footage in this is at a different aspect ratio, well, it's because I bought a new upscaler halfway through playing through the game. Yeah, shout out to my Chi and the Retro Ting 5X. And to be honest, I'd rather dry hump a cactus plant than play through those first few levels again. And the reason for that is because this thing is just incredibly hard. And everything you've heard about this game is probably true and then some. I mean, look, I'm someone who really enjoys playing through games with a high difficulty, but even for me, this was just way too much. Resurrection can stake a claim at being a block horror, and it definitely has all the hallmarks, that being the degrees and save spots and time left up with enemies. Only it also has the other hallmarks you see in a standard first-person shooter, that being that it went through a fuck ton of enemies to deal with. But then it also retains that survival horror aspect of giving you buck roll health and ammo to deal with all these enemies. I mean, even if you're being a complete tight-ass here, that is, firing in short bursts, you are still going to be out of ammo constantly. And it really feels more like it's about trial and error than it is about right at the final, because the level design likes to ambush you, and about the only way you can survive these is armed with the knowledge that it's going to happen, which can only exist with the foresight of knowing it's coming after you've died. But even then, it is chock full of some good old-fashioned bullshit. Like a boss fight against a guy who soaks up literally 100 or so bullets rifle rounds that ends with a couple of flamethrower soldiers rushing into the room that's a fantastic idea when you're always walking around with barely any spent ammo, isn't it? So yeah, to reiterate, I really doubt that anyone's been able to beat this in pistol. Gotta say, I still find it hard to believe someone could ever beat it playing this normally. I had to turn on God mode a couple of times just to see this thing through to the end, and even then, I still felt like the game was kicking my ass. Now, I do think that with a mouse and a keyboard, this would have been a hell of a lot easier. In fact, I actually ended up buying a PlayStation mouse for another video that I'm working on, which arrived after I finished the correction. But to test this thing out, I went back and played through those first few levels, and yeah, I've got to say, it does seem a bit easier. But then again, I'm not too sure if that's because of the mouse or just because I know what's coming this time. The main thing it objectively improves, I think, is when you're trying to shoot the face huggers because you can be a lot more precise. So maybe this was all intended to be played with a more approachable control scheme, but all I know is on the consoles, this thing does waste time really fast. The first 3 or 4 levels aren't too bad and can be finished if you just keep your head down and stay crispy. But from that level, when you start to play as Nintendo and onward, it really just feels like if you make a single mistake, you take too many hits and use up too much ammo, well, then you're really screwed from that point on. Because there just isn't enough ammunition or healing items to allow for previous mistakes. Then you go back to playing Ripley after this, and the ammo you had for playing as Ripley prior carries on from this level too. So if beforehand you're a bit too overzealous, play hard to get female a bit jealous, well, you're going to be up shit creek when that happens. Again, it's just manual save points, fine, but you'll only get maybe 2 or 3 of these per level. And now consider that some of these levels can go for up to 1,000. So it's like you're really just expected to play through encounter after encounter without making a single mistake. What it really means is that this is a genuinely fun game to play because every single encounter you have can be class. There's a section early on in the game where you've got to crawl through this narrow vent, and you've got faces that approach you from the front and the back, and I was genuinely shaking playing through this bit. It's actually kind of funny how a 20-year-old game can still deliver more scares than any of the so-called horror games I've played in memory. It's just that a lot of this really does feel like first-time crap designed to player and force like storytelling. In the game's defense, it's not entirely unfair. I mean, you've got this quick 180 spin move, which is an absolute godsend that really helps when something suddenly attacks you from behind. I also really like that little detail how if the Xander gets stuck in the doorway, when the door closes, their entire body just gets crushed and explodes, but someone's stepping on the back and reloads. Probably the most annoying aspect here, I think, is how much resurrection relies on face huggers. Pretty much almost a enemy. Compared to Alien Trilogy, where there were just one wins. Once one of these things grabs onto your face, the screen fades out for a bit, and then you wake up a short time later, infected with the chest burst. At this point, you've got maybe 30 or so seconds before this thing's burst from your rib cage like a stripper pulling out of the 13 case. The only way to get rid of things is by using a specific item called auto-dot, which moves it, links to this animation showing the chest burst being radiated into food. And it's a pretty cool idea for, the first 2 or 3 times it happens, but then it just becomes annoying. Firstly, because, look, as much as I love face sitting, the nutrition fetish, every time it happens, you have to watch that same 10 or so second long animation. Your character slowly passing out and then getting back up to your feet. But secondly, and I think more importantly, because there's only a finite amount of auto-dot levels, which means you're going to have to deal with the face huggers in fashion like quad shooters. And that's just this incredibly tedious process of shooting the F most of the mouse things in extra long, ideally one by one so you don't get overwhelmed. Combined with the other moments that now just come out of nowhere scurrying towards you, where that handicap of the choppy control and the low frame rate is going to be a great challenge. In fact, I think it's actually more advisable to let yourself get face hugged, because after you've been infected, it seems the rest of the face huggers attack you instead, you know what I mean? You can't face hug twice. But they're really one of the most annoying enemies in the entire game, and that low FOV, which makes it really hard to see them sometimes, makes it feel. I even had it happen a couple of times where, right after using auto-dot, I'd suddenly find myself attacking it instantly by one that I couldn't even see. Remind me that scene in The Simpsons when Sideshow Bob just keeps walking through those ranks over and over. The point where I gave up trying to play through this thing completely during the game's 6 levels was expected, by the way. After having fought my way through hordes of enemy soldiers after rifles and a colony's worth of casinos, I barely made it to the next level with nothing but the pistol remaining. that combination of keeping the players stocked up with just the right amount of items they needed, but never to the point that you felt fucking comfortable.
So weird.
And that's really, I think, why despite its brilliant presentation and innovative gameplay elements and its core aspect, that Alien Resurrection isn't as well remembered. Because despite hiding behind this moniker of being an intentionally difficult shooter, its infinite difficulty was perfectly fine because it is not a beta. There's definitely games out there that are both genuinely hard and fun at the same time. Recently, something like Dead Cells is one that comes to mind, or a game like Cuphead, Risk of Rain 2, or Super Meat Boy. As for the FPS genre, more recently something like
Yeah, but Cuphead isn't fun. It's fucking rage-inducing.
balance. In those games, you're not failing because you don't have the means to succeed. You're failing because it was your screw up. You didn't do what the game expected of you, and it punished you as a result. In Alien Resurrection, you just died because three Xenos rushed at you from a nearby room. The game hasn't given you a med kit for 15 minutes. You've only got one shotgun shell left and nothing but a pistol in the back pocket. Well, yeah, your last save file was about half an hour ago. So have fun replaying all of that and pulling it all off again without a hitch. It's supposed to be some kind of ironic experience, trying to simulate what would actually happen if a real person was in this situation. Well, then I applaud them. Michael Wincott's death at the start of the movie, sorry, spoilers, is really about to make you
I don't give a shit. I've seen the movie.
faith that 90% of people suffer from in life. And it's again another game that I'd really like to see remastered because I think just being able to play this with the basic convenience of a
Fuck
Super
no.
setup,
Don't have it remastered. Let it fucking die. It deserves to die.
you can't deny that this is a masterpiece when it comes to the visuals and audio design. You just can't
The
fault
visual and audio design, sure. If you're gonna make a remaster, make the fucking gameplay better.
But I'll give it one thing, it's still more fun to play through than Alien 3.
And if you're gonna remaster it or whatever, fucking add stuff. Add ammo, medkits to every fucking level to be found. In every level, every section of a level. In like fucking loot pickups or some shit. Supply boxes, whatever. Just add in the items that you need to fucking survive and be able to finish the game. Or finish the level, for crying out loud. Because I fucking hate that shit in games, man, where they add tons of enemies to a level, but not enough resources to kill those enemies. Nowhere near enough resources to be able to deal with those enemies. Fuck off. Like, if you're gonna put tons of enemies in your games for a level and not give us enough resources to be able to deal with those fucking enemies, you can go fuck yourself. We ain't gonna play your goddamn game. Especially if you're playing it on the fucking easy difficulty and you still don't get fuck all resources to fucking deal with the enemies or to heal yourself. Man, that's what you call grade A fucking bullshit right there, son. And if you are the kind of developer that does that shit, how about you go on to fucking be with... How about you switch fucking studios? If you're developers that do that shit, how about you go with the fucking studios that make Dark Souls? That made the Dark Souls games. Or the games that are like Dark Souls. That are RNG based like Dark Souls. Because if you're doing that doing that to games that are nowhere near supposed to be like Dark Souls in any way, shape or form, you need to rethink what studio you're working for, mate. Honestly. And if the fucking studio director says this game isn't going to be anything like Dark Souls and you fucking make it like Dark Souls anyway, you're fucking stupid. And your fucking game studio director is going to be pissed at you for not listening to what he said or to what they said. Fucking dumbass. That's why I never played the original fucking Resident Evil games. Resident Evil 1, 2, or 3, or 0. That and the fact is that I didn't know that they existed until Resident Evil 7 was announced. Oh, I knew Capcom 4 was making games of other studios back in the day. I didn't know that they made their own games. I just knew them as developers that worked on other games with other developers. So, kind of like what Activision did back in the day, where they'd work with other small-time developers, with them either making their first game or second game. Or Sega did that quite a lot back in the day. Sega did that especially a lot with superhero games back in the PS2 era. That's for sure. Like with the Incredible Hulk, Hulk Ultimate Destruction, Iron Man, the first Iron Man game, that was very fucking bad. Oh, very poorly received. Oh, fuck off. I selected you, so select, you cunt! Also with Captain America Super Soldier on the DS. Man, I fucking played the shit out of that game back in the day. It was such a really good game. Then it came out on then it was released on PlayStation 2. Then it also got a fucking then it got a Nintendo Wii release, which it was meh. It had updated visuals, kind of. It had better visuals than it did on the PS2. Had similar visuals and resolution and graphics to how it looked on the DS. But I just remembered that the Wii version of Captain America Super Soldier didn't play that well. Didn't have a manual. Oh yeah, it also didn't have manual save. It had fucking auto save and fucking checkpoints and shit like that, man. I tell you, a game that just has checkpoints and doesn't have any manual saving or quick saving is a game that is not worth your fucking time. That's why with any games that I play, they have to have they have to have, as well as auto save, they also have to have manual saving. For one reason, auto saving doesn't get saved to the cloud. To the game's cloud save. Only manual saves do. I understand why manual saves only get saved to the cloud, to the game's cloud servers to then rather than the autosave, because the autosave doesn't autosave one autosave, it autosaves like many different files, many different times. Can't just autosave the once and just rewrite over that autosave. It has to create a new save file to autosave, which I think is stupid. And not being able to fucking make it that the autosave just overrides the current autosave. That shouldn't be that difficult to fucking do. Cause that's what Bethesda did with fucking Fallout. They've been doing that since Fallout 3. Where the autosave only autosaves once and rewrites over the last autosave. It doesn't create a new autosave. It uses one autosave slot to autosave your progress. It just keeps rewriting over the autosave. Over the first autosave. I don't know why other game developers can't figure that shit out. Like, it's not that fucking difficult to do. Oh yeah, and also quick saving. Quick saving is just fucking bad. Get rid of quick saving. Quick saving is not fucking helpful because it can easily corrupt your fucking progress data. If your game freezes or crashes. And if you try to load that quick saves, most of the time I say progress file, quick save file not found. But that's what's happened to me whenever I've quick saved a game. That it says cannot load quick save data. Would you like to load a manual save? Because most of the time when I've used a quick save, it's by accident. I don't mean to, you know, press the quick save on, because while I'm trying to press the goddamn save button so I could manual save, you know? No. The fucking game's like, oh, your press is too close to the quick save. I'm gonna quick save for ya. Which that shit is a massive pain in the ass.
grows it over time. Hey guys, if you guys want to play a video game, right, stick around until the end to find out more about the Quake. Its software first entry in the iconic franchise, the Quake series, and I think you're going to find a more divisive
Fuck
these
off.
games have been vastly different from last month. The opinions from fans also differ greatly. Id Software's first entry in the iconic franchise was a challenging, violent, fast-paced shooter that in some ways kind of felt like a natural progression from Doom. Placing demons in a portal to hell with monsters and Lovecraft entities moved across multiple dimensions of the game. The action shifted from 2D survival to 3D worlds and also included mouse look, jumping, much more elaborate environments, not to mention the leap from 2D to CG units. And after playing this, you'd really be foaming at the mouth for the Quake sequel, wouldn't ya? Which was kind of what happened back in 1997, but id Software followed it up with Quake 2. Now, I can't think of a single person I knew who didn't like this game when it came out, and yet despite that, over the years it's gotten this weird, undeserved reputation as being a bad game or something, which I'd argue is said by most of the people on Twitter who weren't even alive when it came out, or are just parroting that opinion from someone else. And it's always kind of been funny to me how Quake 2 is so disliked for being so different to the first one, yet Quake 3, which easily has published id Commons' first game, seems to get repast.
Oh yeah, Quake 3 is fucking garbage.
Now, especially after Doom,
The story makes no fucking sense, it's stupid.
yeah, you know, the same hard extract move from obviously command. You've got primarily the same from the 2016 By the way, though, I've always thought that Quake 2 was a
Fuck those.
that's a hill that I'll
Fuck
die
id Software. They've been become fucktards since Marty became the fucking CFO or CEO of id Software. Fuck him and the whore he wrote in and the whore he spat out of. The whore he fucking shot out of. Nothing that cunt does is fucking good.
Let's get a few things clear about the base game. You know, before Night Dive Studios went bust, or as everyone suddenly
Oh, I'm Marty. I'm gonna fuck over every musician that I'm gonna fuck over an Australian musician that fucking that's worked
that kind of makes sense.
that's done the music of of games that I've made for the last 12 fucking years. Oh yeah, let's fucking do that shit. Let's fuck him over. Just because he's Aussie and he has a different fucking time frame to you fucking American pieces of shit. To you American piece of shit, Marty. Yeah, fuck over the Aussie guy. Fuck you. Fucking piece of shit. Don't deserve anything you've ever gotten, Marty. You deserve to die and be stuck in the deepest, darkest pit of fucking hell. You need to be fucking put in the deepest part of fuckboy hell. Because that's what you are, a fuckboy. That fucks over anybody that works with him. You fuck over anybody that works with you, Marty, you piece of shit. Fucking dog. Got a trash human being.
In a lot of ways, I think you can almost put this as a very early example of the military shooter format that became much bigger as you hit the others. You know, where in those ones you'd always end up becoming the one-man army responsible for saving the day. Quake 2 really marked that turning point where shooters were now having actual campaigns. Now we're putting you in the middle of a much more fleshed out and detailed location and giving you an actual purpose, instead of just running around and looking for the end of the switch.
And no, this isn't hate speech, YouTube. This is fucking facts that we all fucking know. That people should fucking know by now that Marty is a sack of shit. And this isn't the first time he's
Yeah, I mean,
fucked over other
so
people that he's fucked over people that have worked with him or for him.
Is where to put the key cards could be things for something. Plus, it's also one of the first games, I think, to really popularise the railgun shooting. And if there's one thing that we should be thankful for first-person shooters giving us, aside from shotguns and bullets, it's definitely railguns.
He's done this sort of shit, the voice actors, level designers, story fucking directors, story writers, script writers.
I also think it's a game that you have to play with the texture filtering on. I mean, there's something about the smoother look of texture filtering here that just makes the game feel less punchy. That also goes hand in hand with the music, which is just incredible, composed by Sonic Mayhem. There's a heap of awesome tracks.
He's been doing this shit since what, 2011, 2012?
I think their undisputed masterpiece here is just been overall. Songs so catchy.
Dude needs to be fucking kicked out of fucking power of being the CEO of id Software. What happened to the fucking last CEO of id Software, huh? At least the old fucking CEO of id Software wasn't a piece of shit. Hello. Why? Nah. Nah.
Enough to deal with, but can be dangerous in high numbers. And now there's different variants that can carry different weapons. Gunners are an evolution of the ogres, where instead of firing a single grenade, now these guys are able to fire off 4 in rapid succession, along with having a minigun as backup instead of a chainsaw. Also, if you're playing at a higher difficulty, the chances are you're going to see them avoiding incoming attacks. Instead of just one aerial enemy in the form of those annoying fucking scrags. Quake 2, on the other hand, now 3 of them, 4 if you include on a cottage. Plus, the enemies are just a lot different in design than the first game. Now you've got these horrific looking mechanical monstrosities, deformed amalgamations of flesh and steel. If you ever stop to really check out the texture work on these creatures, it's pretty cool stuff. A really underappreciated example of good body horror that they really built upon in Quake 4. You also get all these hints of the kind of creatures that they with from mechanical to even reptilian. A lot of these enemies now also prefer to attack you from range compared to the monsters in Quake who would often just beeline towards you, often making explosive weapons and splash damage a serious threat. I mean, with a rocket launcher in the first game, you were pretty much just signing your own death a lot of times. And on that note, if you want to talk about the natural progression of this further, well, there's no better example than the difference between weapons. Starting off with the blaster, a weapon that is so fucking useless it doesn't even really function in the form of fight. I'm still on the fence though as to whether or not it's as bad as Quake Axe, but the active was really shot up a bit cheap. I think the blaster wins simply for its range, but either way they sure make sure they nailed the feeling of the fallback weapon being about as effective as a full strip can. After that, you've got a shotgun and a super shotgun. With the super shotgun, you get pretty much copying the basic one completely, making it almost I want to say too that we also need more weapons in games that have handles on top of them. It just makes the super shotgun look so effective and reliable. It looks like I could take this thing out all day and use it to hammer down railroad spikes, and then use it to kill things, and it'd still hit dead on center every time. Instead of the nail guns, you've got a machine gun and a chain gun, and both of these are actually kind of useful in different situations. The machine gun's handy for just peppering the weaker enemies with a constant stream of bullets. Plus, there's something I've always loved about its understated sound effects of firing. You know what I mean? It's like this weapon has no pretensions about what it's here to do. Plus, it might be one of the first FPS weapons I can remember that had any kind of simulated. Then the chain gun is just whatever not the other. barrel is about the closest I've ever got to this black beer trying to get used to food. Short stint, even 5% auto without restraint is the stuff that's got his made of.
I wrote a blog post about it about why I think it's because this is what it does. It feels like the male fantasy.
No, that bitch hates video games because she can't fucking play them for shit! Don't hate the game or the player, hate your fucking shit skills. And hate the lack of skills you have. The lack of skill you have to play games, you feminist cunt. I get that's a fucking... That's back... That bitch fucking said that shit back in 2011 or 2012. But who the fuck cares? That bitch is spewing absolute bullshit. She's just mad because she can't play fucking video games for shit. Come to think of it, I watched a video fucking not too long ago about that bitch resurfacing. About that bitch resurfacing and fucking throwing flack at fucking video games. And the guy that was fucking... it was like an interview thing or whatever that the guy was doing with her, and she was explaining that video games are fucking whatever the fuck they are fucking sexist and feministists or whatever, some bullshit like that. And the dude literally fucking called her out, saying, the only reason you hate video games is because you're fucking garbage at them. And he'd pulled up a clip of her of her fucking playing fucking, it wasn't Doom, it was fucking, God of War. And she was fucking absolutely sucking so much cock at the game. And also not just playing fucking God of War, there was also clips of her playing Call of Duty, Overwatch. And she was absolutely sucking dick. At all three games. In the clip. In the video clip. And an interviewer guy literally said, so what you're spewing about games being sexist and anti-feminist is absolute bullshit. You're just ranting and raving because you can't fucking play games for shit. Because you couldn't play video games to save your life if you needed to. And then he like said to her, if you're not good at fucking something, don't fucking try. Do it. If you can't do something or can't use something fucking the way it's supposed to, or can't play something properly, and you suck at it, go on to something else. Don't just fucking start spewing bullshit about a subject that you know fuck all about. Then, like, fucking expected, she instantly said to him, well, fuck you and your fucking video and your trash games. And then he was like, bitch, don't talk trash if you can't take it. Oh no, he was like, don't talk shit about something you can't fucking do properly. That you know nothing about and don't know how the fuck to do. Don't know how to use that thing or do that thing. Then he was like, get the fuck off my fucking get the fuck off my Discord and delete your account. Delete your fucking Discord account, bitch. And he was like, if you're gonna say this amount of bullshit about something that I really like and have no proof of it being true, you can go fuck yourself. You can go fuck yourself. Then he was like, don't talk hate about something that if people can't hate on you for the shit you do. If you're gonna talk hate, you better be able to take hate. And yeah, he kicked her off the interview, and it was a podcast, by the way. And he straight kicked her off the podcast after it only been like fucking 30 minutes into the podcast. Actually, no, 25 minutes into the podcast, he fucking kicked her. From the Discord and everything. Yeah, it's like, then he said, I'm sorry about that viewers, but I couldn't stand that bitch no longer spewing all of this bullshit. Spewing all of that fucking absolute bullshit. Then he like said, if you fucking talk shit about something you know nothing about, then don't fucking talk shit about it at all. Doing that, you're just wasting your time and everybody else's time, and you're just putting out fucking negative shit about something you don't actually understand or know anything about. Then he said, I'm sorry to cut this episode of my podcast short, but there's nothing else to talk about. I don't have any plans for any other fucking interview guests until the next episode. But the unfortunate thing is that episode of his podcast on his fucking YouTube channel got privated a few months afterwards. So yeah, now you can no longer view it. Now you can no longer watch it, which is unfortunate. And if that bitch really fucking says that male fantasy in video games resulting with TNA, you fucking betcha it is, because that's what games are supposed to be. An escape from the real world and a fantasy of what they want in the real world but can't have or don't have. Depending on the game.
The grenade launcher and the rocket launcher begin stable with great series both make a return here, and the slower firing speed of the projectiles now makes them much more skill-based, and less just about spam kill and frame. Plus, I've always loved how this is like the only game in the entire series that has polygonal explosion. Why no one else has ever done this is big one. Instead of the Thunderbolt from Quake, you've got the Michael Blaster, more or less just the plasma rifle. It's even got that slight delay before you fire it. And of course, they managed to work a BNG into this thing too, one which also easily holds its own against the OG from Doom. God damn! In fact, I think this version is actually closer to the one from Doom, with a slower moving projectile that flies out these tendrils that attack the enemies. I already mentioned the railgun before, but you know what? It's worth mentioning again, because I don't think it's possible to give this thing too much praise. It's easily one of the best weapons in the game, not to mention one of the best weapons in the one. And the sound this bad boy makes when firing is about as close to the sound of a instant direction as you can hear. Oh my god! Again, this might be the first time we ever saw a railgun yet. I do know that Shadow Warrior had one too, and that both games came out in 1997, so it's kind of hard to know whichever was that I did first. You know what? Outside of the lack of flash, playing this kind of fits weak into a multitude of things these weapons as well. I've never quite understood the dislike towards this lineup, considering it was just the same as the first game, but improved more. It just feels like every weapon here has its own purpose. I mean, while the super shotgun is a great weapon for taking out your front of the enemies, you're obviously going to find it less useful against someone like the tank commanders or some of the more agile enemies. I just feel like there's more room for experimentation compared to Quake 1, where you spend 90% of the time with the super shotgun, outside of the other 10% where you might use the super nailgun. One of the criticisms I can get online though is the flatness of the environment, which does kind of make sense given the premise of the location. I think the colour palette is definitely lacking compared to the first game, and there is a sense of being stuck on this barren shithole of the planet. Again, that's kind of the point, the same side thing. And I think any real criticism of this Quake 20 is kind of selling the whole picture. I mean, like I said, this engine really laid the groundwork for some of the best time I went for another playthrough, I also thought I'd have the console port this. It kind of dawned on me that these ports, or probably just playthroughs in general, haven't really ever seen all that much love over the years. Seems like there's been new versions of Doom coming out every couple of years. Last year, Night Dive Studios remastered Quake, but the only real main remaster we've had for Quake 2 outside of unofficial source code was the NVIDIA RTX re-release from a couple of years back. Hard to not just see this as a ray tracing studio though, because it really does show off the possibilities and the potential that these older games can have. When ray tracing is added with an actual motive from the method, rather than just chucking a feature on a game with skill. And as far as the PC is concerned, I think it's actually big. What's also kind of weird is that it supports Quake 4 for the Xbox 360, which basically is with a friend. You'll probably remember that Hidden Away on the Bonus Features disc was a really good remaster of Quake 2. And I think it's safe to say that for a lot of people, especially for those people whose first console was the 360, this would have been their first introduction to the series. I didn't even know this version existed until I started doing research for this video, and I'm flabbergasted. Yes, flabbergasted that more people don't know about it. I mean, it not only controls pretty smoothly with that Xbox controller, but it's also one of the first games for the platform to
Oh my
run at
fucking
1080
god,
resolution.
where's
Not
the
to mention
fucking
that it
thing I'm
runs at 60
missing, you
frames per
cunt?
second. It's actually
Where
kind of
is
crazy
the
how good the
fucking
console
little
ports for
piece of
Quake games have
fucking
been.
dirt
I mean, even with
that
the
I'm
release of Quake
missing,
3 on the
you
PlayStation
fucker?
2 and the Dreamcast. I can only imagine the amount of work that must have gone into putting this remaster to life, and yet for some reason people are so fucking talking about it, compared to people bitching about Quake 4. Prior to this though, your only way to experience Quake 4 on a console was with either the PlayStation or the Nintendo 64. Now this also wasn't the first time that a Quake game made its way onto a Nintendo console. Way back in 1998, Midway Games took a stab at a Nintendo 64 port for Quake, taking a similar approach to it as they did with Doom 64 a year earlier. That being a completely revamped soundtrack and much more of a focus on the horror-based aspects of Quake's design. For some reason though, this version of the game got really bad reviews, with reviewers often claiming that it was just an inferior port of the PC version, which obviously it is, I mean, no shit, but I always found this to be a bit of a weird move, because I don't think that this is a version intended for people who had already played it on the PC. I always kind of assumed that this was intended for people who didn't have a PC at the time, so the Nintendo 64 was the only platform to get it on. And if you look at the whole thing from that perspective, I don't see all that wrong with it. It still controls pretty well with that 64 controller, and there's more or less the same graphics.
Fucking god, what am I missing? I've looked all over the thing, cunt.
We're also expecting to beat the entire level in that time, with no means of saving. And that's a bit of an issue because the levels weren't really designed to be finished in a single sitting, and it kind of makes the game a lot tougher than it should be at times. But the new soundtrack, I think, makes things pretty interesting. Not to mention, you've got all that new coloured lighting, which changes the tone of the levels entirely, making them look like something out of a Dario Argento movie. Night Dive Studios even included a mod for this version in their recent Quake remaster, which is just beyond based. And it's all up just astounding that they got the whole thing right.
Oh, fuck you.
So, who better to call on for the Quake 2 port but the game? With what happened again in 1999, when they needed someone to port the game to the definitely still has been worked on by the same team, just from that intro movie alone, again showing the game's logo as it comes with their original game, all of them fly their weapons to the camera, wherever they will be back. Now, let's back to starting to remember that there was also a Quake 2 port for PlayStation. To make it even more confusing, this one was developed by a group called Cottage. And this I think is where it starts getting confusing, because aside from a few minor similarities, these are both vastly different versions of the same game, to the point that it really is like playing through two entirely separate campaigns. It seems like Midway Games took on that Genesis hard about their Quake port not being a platform, so this time they went right ahead and just made a bunch of little levels, which comes in considerably shorter than the PC version. Roughly, I think about half the size of the original levels compared to 39 on the PC. I mean, you will see some familiar looking areas here and there, but by and large, this campaign is completely unique. Also, like Doom and Quake 4, old mate Aubrey Hodges again returned to create an entirely different soundtrack, though for some reason this time under the pseudonym of Ken Razor Richmond. Now look, the only Razor I've ever known is Razor Ramon Kani, and I think if that guy ever did the music for a Quake game, it's definitely a lot different than this. Overall it does work well, but I'm just not sure if it kind of fits, and there is definitely something missing here without not saying that. What's probably most unique about this version, though, is that the level flow is entirely linear. Unlike the PlayStation 1 and the PC port, you really just need to do the levels here in a more traditional sense, finding key cards and often objective items before making your way to the end of the level. There still isn't any kind of manual save option, but it does have a really complex password system, much the same as Doom and Quake 64, where the game's able to keep a tally on what level you're up to, along with the weapons you're carrying and your other basic stats. I'm still in awe as to how this thing can be so accurate, and it's a definite godsend if you lack a memory pack. There's also a lot of really cool looking environments here. One of the last levels is this giant freight elevator that you're moving through, and it's a pretty impressive visual trick here to make the whole thing seem like it's constantly moving. It's also definitely much more colourful than the PC version. The level set in the mines, for instance, have this bluish hue, which is completely different to how the same environment looks on the PC, where it kind of felt that time like you were taking a tour through Satan's butthole. But it's the final level that's had the biggest change, I think, because now instead of fighting the Macron, you're instead taking on 2 tank commanders and a Hornet, having to defeat all of them before the exit route becomes available. What's most important, though, is that Midway Games understood that this game is designed to be played with a controller, which means unlike Quake 64, you don't quite need to aim up and down so often, with enemies often being on the same level as the player. Most of the enemies are also included too. I think the only ones missing are the medic and the technicians, which ain't that much of a deal anyway. I mean, both of those things are about as annoying as having a wasp inside your dick hole. I think you only encountered the medics a handful of times in Vanilla Quake, and those technicians were little more than just floating barrels. The sure as shit though doesn't make Quake 2 any easier, and it's still a pretty damn challenging game. Also because you're often having to deal with a pretty choppy frame rate. Yeah, imagine that. The Nintendo 64 game that runs like arse. Having said that though, I actually think it's one of the better looking and performing games on the platform. GoldenEye and Perfect Dark have this weird sort of messianic status amongst Nintendo fans, despite the fact that both of those games now look and play like utter shit. Quake 2, in comparison, is easily much smoother and has a much sharper quality. Definitely has areas that perform better than others, but it's a damn sight better than the single-digit performance you'd often get in GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. Being accurate with single-shot weapons like the rocket launcher and the railgun ain't as hard as you think it would be, you know, as long as you're not epileptic. And on the plus side, they also managed to add in actual muzzle flash, so there's really not that much to complain about here. I love seeing how when you're now holding the BFG, you can see the bottom of the player's hand glowing from the radiation coming from the weapon, kind of like the briefcase in fiction. Yeah, maybe don't hold that thing too close to your nutsack, no, there's a limit. Actually, I think it's kind of neat too that this port has this like this reverse technical display, where you can have the HUD fade out if you want to when you're not in combat, you know, to make things close and close. And you know what, in fairness, playing video games on a CRT television in a digital is still way more immersive to me than half the modern day crap that gets pumped out of the Xbox and the PlayStation 5 these days. Overall, it's clearly got a lot more work to it than the Quake 64 has, you know, taking one set of levels wasn't a giveaway. Plus, like all Nintendo 64 games, it has the option of up to 4 playable matches, the kind of thing that both created and differentiated from screen cheats. And I'll be honest, right, at first I didn't really think too much of the support, but the more time you spend with it, the more you really appreciate the work that's gone into it in life. The rejectable viewpoint is getting the whole thing running in the first place, but also when it tries to implement all of these other mechanics to make it feel like its own thing. Then you've got Quake 2 on the PlayStation 1, kind of like a weird combination of both. I mean, it's 60% level design of the PC version being objective-based instead of linear, only the environments mostly just condensed versions of the original. And that again, my friends, is a pretty phenomenal technical achievement for the console, considering what games look like the PS1 from up to times. is the reason to own a PlayStation. Now, why I say that is if you're trying to play this thing up, you'll see that it really has one of the worst difficulties in any first-person shooter I've played on the platform. Normally, I can find myself getting missions towards getting over the high, but this one is just going backwards to ignite at my limit. This came out before even Medal of Honor or Raiden Resurrection came along to help me make the thumbstick in place, so it included control scheme that's just downright arcade. So get a load of this, right? The left thumbstick moves you forward and aims left and right, while the right thumbstick straight left and right and then aims up and down. Now it might not sound like a huge deal and it's almost different, but if you think about that layout, I mean, stop to think about it, it just makes this thing like unplayable. It's kind of like trying to suddenly right with your left hand, especially time like right with your right, or, you know, vice versa. And honestly, I don't even think I'd recommend playing this version. Sometimes it's just using the mouse. Yes, that's how bad it feels. With the mouse setup, you can hold the controller in the left hand straight, and then just aim with the mouse right. Yeah, I guess that's also pretty clunky, but it's a damn sight better given the alternative. Once you get past that, though, you'll see that this is again also a really impressive port, and it captures that perfect mix of chunky.
Yeah, I hated games that did that shit where you'd use both analog sticks to fucking aim and move, instead of just using one to move and one to aim.
More important than that, though, is that it includes simultaneous soundtrack, giving the game a mind that is deep roots. It's grungy, pixelated, and rough around the edges. You know, it's exactly what you want. For a game that's set on a hostile planet where you're fighting cybernetic aliens. And there's just something so charming about
Piss
how
off.
it's a massively downgraded version, and yet it still tries to keep up with its more powerful brethren. I don't know, man, something about that
Fuck
feels so
you.
endearing.
Just go straight.
Now, if you played the PC version, you're again
Fuck
gonna see
off.
familiar looking areas, but they've also managed to include a few new ones as well. For starters, the game now opens with this entirely new series of levels, which are unique to the PlayStation 1. And all up, there's again 20 levels in total, split across 5 missions. They've even managed to keep in most of the boss fights, and more importantly, the macron for the final showdown. Though it does seem like this version is a lot tougher. I mean, his BFG attack this time around just seems to melt your asshole in nanoseconds. It's just for memory reasons, a lot of these environments are split down into much smaller chunks. And when you're backtracking through these units, you'll be staring at loading screen every 10 seconds. Manual save still aren't a big deal, but instead you get save points in every major level transition, and you can abuse this as much as you want for unlimited saves, you know, if you can be bothered. You are one pathetic loser. Then if you died in time, you've got to reload from your last save file. Even able to resupply and get full health and ammo if your last save file left you with your proverbial pants kit. There's minor gameplay modifications too, with items now being instant use. This, I think, is probably due to the limitations of the controller. But again, though, it ain't that much of a huge deal because half the time in Quake 2, I can get people out anyway. And then, whereas the Nintendo 64 took away, Quake 2 on the PlayStation 1 actually had wins, with the new enemies, the Arachnid and the Guardian. The Arachnid is about the closest we'll ever get to seeing an Arachnotron in a Quake game, and this thing is an absolute bullet sponge. Able to soak up 1,000 points of damage, making it as tough as a tank commander, and the second toughest of all the non-boss enemies. Yeah, shit. To piss in your oatmeal even more, it's also got a railgun into the primary attack. You don't encounter them too often here, but you're gonna remember every single instance because they're a pain in the ass. The other enemy is the Guardian, which is entirely new boss fight, and this thing looks like Ed 209 from Robocop and is able to soak up 2,500 points of damage, making it the second toughest enemy in the entire game aside from Capcom. Much like Quake 2 on the Nintendo 64, this is just a shorter compressed version of the base game, but I don't think that's a bad thing because again, it is in two games aimed at people who didn't have the means to play it on the PC. I don't think you can say that one version is better than the other because they both play to their strengths here, and there's so much that they both do uniquely that it's not fair to write either one off. I think the PlayStation 1 version definitely looks and controls the best, only because you can't compare aiming with a controller to aiming with a mouse because the controller's going to lose almost every single time. Plus, it's also added in a bunch of little visual effects, like a lens flare effect, which is kind of charming in how bad it is. You know what, with both versions, I still argue that they're up there as the absolute best of the best when it comes to first-person shooters on their respective platforms. I just hope when Night Dive Studios get around to eventually remastering Quake 2, because let's be honest, that's going to happen, that they're able to include playable versions of both of these ports, like what they did with Quake 64. I think over time people are going to eventually come around and give Quake 2 the credit it deserves. I mean, there's so much revisionism on the internet these days that it's bound to happen. Just remember though that when that day finally comes and everyone on Twitter is suddenly a fan of this thing, that's what I mean. Poor old G-Net Lives, who was one of the first ones to raise a flag here and fight for Net's defense. Now, if we could all just get everyone on the same page with Quake 4, then the stars would truly be aligned. Right, so thanks for sticking around, and now that I've got your attention, let me tell you about MSI's new B12UX laptop. Forget about tinkering with different configurations. The B12UX is a one-stop rig with plenty of performance. It's got an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070, an Intel Core i7-12700, and 32GB of DDR4 RAM running at 32 MHz. Yeah, shit. That NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 also comes with all the 30 attractions, including immersive ray tracing gaming, DLSS to make sure the performance is up to snuff. Plus that Max View technology plus performance that turns the laptop into a multi-greatly energetic. This thing is also built for 1440p gaming, so it makes sense that the B12UX comes with what it needs. Which makes it a lot prettier than those other ones out there still rocking 1080. Makes for a great mix of fidelity and FPS for top-line gaming, and that 164Hz refresh rate gives you that competitive edge for those who want to get a bit more sweat on fire. If you're not keen on playing games with a mouse and keyboard, well, the B12UX also has a console mode for easily playing mobile games with a controller. If you want to know more, well, click that link in the video description for details. Hey guys, this video is sponsored by SteelSeries, so make sure to stick around after the end to find out how you can get a discount on your next order. Urban Chaos Riot Response, not to be confused with Urban Chaos, is a first-person shooter released for the Xbox and the PlayStation 2 in 2006, and developed by Rocksteady Studios. Yeah, before these guys created some of the best Batman games of all time, including Batman Forever, they worked on this underappreciated little shooter that came out on the arse end of the 6th generation consoles. And I think this might be one of the best examples of just bad timing that you're ever going to see coinciding with a game's release, because for various reasons, this thing got pretty average reviews from critics. According to Metacritic, a trusted source for video game reviews, this thing has a score of 72 on the Xbox and then 73 on the PlayStation 2. Part of why I also think that it's underappreciated is that it hasn't got any kind of updated treatment from Microsoft. I mean, you've got that laundry list of games now that are all backwards compatible for the Xbox Series X, and yet for some reason, even despite the pedigree of Rocksteady as developers, Urban Chaos still hasn't made that list.
Thank you. Nice work.
It is worth considering again that this thing came out on the back end of the 6th generation console lifecycle. The Xbox 360 had been out a year at this point, and the PlayStation 3 was out in Japan by the end of 2006 as well. Not to mention, it hit the US not too long after that in early 2007. So, Urban Chaos Riot Response is already this dated-looking relic standing in defiance of its younger, more competent offspring.
Hey, I could help you with that.
You ever see that photo where there's two bodybuilders on one side and then this skinny guy right in the middle who just totally out of place? Well, I can imagine that that's kind of what this game felt like coming out in 2006. I mean, had it come out in 2003 or even just 2004, it would have garnered a lot more praise. As it stands, it's kind of got overshadowed by the Amiga title, not to mention the next gen console, which, if I am being honest, really did usher in one of the best periods of gaming we've ever had. Even the title's not particularly famous. It kind of sounds like one of those games that an Eastern European developer made, and you'd find in a bargain bin for less than $50.
Hey, that was close.
Does that make the whole thing bad? It's instead gone for the whole silent protagonist. Instead of words, it says Nick relies on the sledgehammer subtly of pistol, shotguns, and heat on people's face. Kind of handy too, I suppose, because Nick's main foes here are the burners, a gang of assholes wearing hockey masks who have a real fondness for fire, and in particular Molotov cocktails. Throwing so many of these goddamn things, it just shows a blatant disregard for recycling rules. The premise here is that the burners have taken over this entire city, and they've turned it into a place that kind of reminds me of how Los Angeles is always portrayed in every late 80s and early 90s action movie. Yeah, and what a perfect comparison to make here. Because this really does feel like some kind of big, dumb action movie, with a ridiculous enemy faction like the Burners to deal with, and this very literal betrayal of law and order having to fight back against what's just pure anarchy. Those Burners are out there. They can't be reasoned with, they can't be bargained with, they don't feel pity or remorse or fear, and they absolutely will not stop until everyone is dead. I think the other main vibe that I got from this was the Robocop films, like this semi-futuristic city on the brink of outright collapse. Then you've got these textbook cliche criminals who have complete disregard for innocent people, also combined with that graphic violence in the form of being able to literally shoot someone's goddamn head off. The place for that open cinematic view on reaching main menu kind of sounds like something that people would work on for the novel Batman films.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Yeah, kind of funny considering the games that Rocksteady would work on in the future. This is a game developed primarily for the Xbox and the PlayStation 2, so don't expect cutting-edge visuals or anything like that. The one thing though is that they both play pretty smoothly. In terms of their open presentation, the lighting and certain effects in some of the areas just looks good. And it kind of skates this thin line between being cut to finish and also realistic. Off the back of that too, I'm not really sure if I can the main menu has this swirling American flag in the background and then all these various close-ups of equipment, along with a music track that kind of sounds like a ghetto version of Let the Bodies in the Floor. This is the kind of thing that could only ever come out of that post-9/11 Bush administration era. The premise of playing as this stoic knight in shining armor in the form of a basically glorified police officer is the kind of thing I think that would just be laughed at in the current year. In between missions, the narrative's kind of carried along by these news broadcasts, where an anchor woman is giving updates on what's happening across the city. But it just lacks any kind of humor or levity, and that's really serious and deadpan.
Also, political activist Gabe Peeps is in the news again. It seems the controversial information Peeps presented about Adam Wolf was false.
I kept expecting there to be some kind of parody commercial in between all these news updates, like a commercial for an overpriced sports car or 5,000 sunscreen. I'd buy that for $1. But it just lacks that tongue-in-cheek aspect I think it really had. And it really feels like it's just a parody. I mean, the Burners are guys running around in what is basically Halloween masks, with their comically over-the-top music and this weird, scary interaction that kind of seems like there should be something out of a kid's cartoon. Like in this episode of Captain Planet, fight back against the notorious burning effort, trying to burn down the Amazon jungle.
I don't like the smoke signals.
By the way, though, I'm pretty sure the mission you're working alongside a couple of names is definitely
So who are you, man?
On TikTok, you control the comments on your videos. You can be open to all types of comments or filter ones you
Shut the fuck up.
I'm the party pooper.
But you know what? If the gameplay is fun, I mean, who cares if there's supposed to be some kind of underlying message or something? I certainly don't. And I think despite the weird tonal aspects to the writing, this is still where it matters most, a really fun game to play through. And I swear, man, some of these old Xbox games are just aging in reverse. Now, the gameplay in Urban Chaos, I think, can be broken down really into two main components. Either escorting, where you've got to escort a civilian, a medic, or a fireman around to save other NPCs, but most of the time you're in combat, bringing justice back to the streets, one dead gang member at a time. Despite Rocksteady not really being known for shooters, I've got to say they've done a pretty good job here with this one, making it more than serviceable. Controls are smooth and responsive, and the animations when shooting enemies are also really good. I've always liked the way that enemies react here to getting shot, moving backwards and having their balance thrown off. It's a nice attention to detail, but also just good feedback to let you know when your shots are connecting. I mean, it might sound pretty obvious, but there's so many games out there where enemies don't even react to catching bullets with their face and torso. There's a whole bunch of weapons in this game too. Now, you start off with a pistol, which might seem basic, but it's actually really effective, even right up until the end of the game, especially when it's upgraded where it's basically become a hand cannon. You'll also unlock an automatic shotgun and an assault rifle, both of which are pretty damn useful. The assault rifle eventually gets a scope upgrade, which also makes headshots really easy. And I'm always really excited to get back to that main menu screen and see what I've upgraded next.
You have unlocked an extra shotgun clip. You have unlocked the upgraded grenade belt. I'd buy that for $1.
Then the burners also have their own weapons, which you can use too. You've got a sawn-off shotgun, machine pistols, and then revolvers. But I never really bothered with these though, only because Nick's guns are just way more useful. I mean, as far as shotguns go, I'd say that Nick's is up there with the best of them. For starters, it takes up almost half the goddamn screen, which really tells you this thing's not here to piss around. And then combined with those goofy ragdoll physics that only the Havoc engine can deliver, it ends up feeling pretty powerful.
Break out that fool!
You've got grenades as well in the form of nail bombs, smoke, and riot grenades, the latter being useful for non-lethally taking out a bunch of enemies at once. Along with Molotov cocktails, again, something I just never really used that much. But then, finally for the vegetarians, you've got Nick's taser. And this thing offers a non-lethal takedown as opposed to just sending them straight to hell. Just make sure to not hold that button down for too long or else they're going to burst into flames, Green Mile style. That rhymes. It's actually a really intuitive system for swapping through all of these weapons too. You cycle through the guns with X, you cycle through throwables with Y, and then melee weapons with B. So going from a rifle to the taser in the heat of the moment is simple and quick. The real showstopper though is the riot shield, which is just such a fucking cool concept. It's kind of shocking how we haven't seen this thing in shooters all that much. Yes, I know there's one in Call of Duty Warzone and they add so many new shield operators to Rainbow Six Siege that I'm starting to think that someone in their creative team probably uses a riot shield to wank off with. But the only other games from that time period that I can remember that had a riot shield was Red Faction and Crisis Zone. But in Crisis Zone, that was obviously on rails, and the one in Red Faction was also a bit limited because you had to manually pull that thing out, plus you couldn't use other weapons at the time. The Riot Shield in Urban Chaos, though, is way more dynamic. Let me explain. Right, so regardless of the weapon you're using, if you press that left trigger, Nick's going to pull that thing out and cover himself up pretty much instantly.
As always, subscribe for more. Peace.